Okay, now I'm live. So, good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. Slow down. It's Sunday. Relax. Just relax. I actually scheduled a live video this morning, and I don't know what happened, but it didn't work. I need training, my friends. If any of you are really good at this, or any of you are like versed in Facebook Live, I'm supposed to be switching to Facebook Live in 2 days, and they're still using words I don't understand. It's not in my regular language. Makes me sad. You know, today's word art. It's absolutely okay to cry. Big girls and big boys do cry. It was frustrating, but I'm over it now. I'm totally over it now. But we should talk about that. I don't know about you guys, but this okay to cry, you know how there are some people who say, you know, girls take advantage of crying and boys don't cry and big boys don't cry, big girls don't cry. If you're like me, rather than using crying as a way to get what you want, it's kind of hard for me to cry. For some people, it's a way to manipulate other people. And for others, like me, it's really hard to be that vulnerable, isn't it? I mean, come on. Crying with happy tears, I can do that all day long. Crying with sad tears around other people, not so easy for me. You know, I've been doing this happy thing for so long. I'm kind of trained to be happy. You know, I always talk about work those muscles of gratitude. Well, you have to work those muscles of happy too. And I do. I work them all the time. But to the point where sometimes it's embarrassing, humiliating, upsetting, disappointing for me and others if I break down. But I want you to know I'm human. I break down. I get sad. And sometimes I even cry. I do have a thing with my eyes. I don't know if those of you who know me well know that. I have a thing with my eyes where you explain to me why dry eyes mean that your eyes water all the time. I've been diagnosed with a number of different eye issues, but the bottom line is my eyes tend to tear. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? My eyes tend to tear a lot. And like so much that occasionally, because I always have this smile on my face, but tears coming down, people will stop me and ask me if I'm okay because it looks like I'm crying, but I'm not really crying. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll drink to that. Slow it down. Slow it down. So, a friend of mine posted something on Facebook yesterday about having, I guess, one candidate had suggested that the other candidate use drugs or something, and then this whole thing started with, okay, well, if he doesn't do it, then he should allow himself to be tested, and then somebody else said they should both be tested. Anyway, that was basically what this post was about, and somebody piped in and turned it into ugly. I mean, like plain old ugly. I know you know what I'm talking about. Name calling, nastiness. And I'm wondering, where is it okay to be political? Seriously. Are you only allowed to talk about politics with people you know believe exactly what you believe? Is that the only place it's okay? What happened to dialogue? What happened to debate? Honest, fair debate. I'm looking forward to the debates. I hope they have them, and I hope for both sides there's a fact checker on hand for each team if need be. But seriously, the more important question to me is, what happened to the days when we could agree to disagree? or we could actually listen to each other's arguments and change our minds. Where did that go? When did we become so incredibly divided politically that we can't have a conversation about politics unless it's with someone we know already agrees with us? Which is then really stupid, right? Because you're preaching to the choir, so to speak. You're not going to change anyone's mind. And seriously, do we really think we're going to change someone's mind by arguing anyway? I don't know. You know what they say, never argue with someone who's wrong. But they also say never argue with someone who's right. So perhaps it should just be never argue. Good morning, Flor. How lovely to see you this morning. Henry, good morning. I'm really in a quandary about this. You know, I have my beliefs, and I try very hard not to share them on Facebook because I don't want to start a problem. I mean, look, I'm the first one to admit that I have posted things that I thought weren't political at all, things about social justice. And somehow they became these huge political conversations that I finally had to say, hey guys, stop. This is not a political conversation. It's a humanity conversation. It's a social justice conversation. Totally different. Totally different. I may not understand what you stand for, but I'm willing to listen. In fact, I watched both conventions because I wanted to understand where people were coming from. But the rhetoric, it was not a conversation. You know what I mean? It was not. It was not. Anyway, if you have thoughts about that, I would love to hear them. Where do we get to go back to the days of dialogue, of actual conversation? I have friends who I disagree with, but we still respect each other. I have friends where there is just an unspoken rule that there are certain things we don't talk about. But those are the things we should be talking about. Look, I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel like anybody who doesn't agree with me obviously hasn't thought it all the way through, right? I know that's not true, but there is that thought that we all have, that how could they be so blind? Okay, dare I say it, stupid. How could somebody so smart be so stupid? Well, I want to know. I want to hear what your reasoning is. Now, I don't mean you specifically, but you get the idea. I want to have the kind of conversation that allows me to hear your side of it without an argument, without a fight. I want to know what makes you think so differently than I do and still makes us both good human beings. Okay, that's my political soapbox for today. You know what? Henry says one of her best friends and she had to agree to disagree, and they totally respected each other. Good on you. That's the way it's got to work. We don't all agree on everything. Took me about 50 some years to learn that lesson, but it's true. I mean, maybe you saw the word art that says, I'm not crazy, I'm not stupid, I'm just not you. Or, I didn't realize until fairly recently that people who disagreed with me were not necessarily wrong. They just thought another way. I want to know how other people think, but I also want the world to be a safe place for all of us and an equitable place for all of us. Wow, I didn't expect to talk about that for quite so long, but obviously you can see it's something very dear to my heart. Agree to disagree, but converse. Have a conversation. Listen to where the other person is coming from. Yeah, okay. What else? In light of that, you should know that it's Be Kind to Humankind Week. Yeah. So go out there and be kind. You can have conversations, but go out there and be kind while you're doing it. Oh, you know what? I never realized that I could look and see more comments. Mutual respect. Great. Great. Good morning from Nashville, Diane, Paquin, Antigone. Hi, how are you? So good. And John, you're here too. Great to see you. Oh yeah, it's okay to block people on Facebook too. Yeah, I learned that. There are a couple of people who just can't control their nasty, and I don't want nasty on my Facebook page. No way. John and Diane, I'm so happy you're here with me. Thank you. All right, what else? It's Lewis Black's birthday. He got the worst garbage mouth on the planet. Do you know who he is? He's a comedian. He's he's probably not the most appropriate birth child for Human Kindness Day, but he cracks me up, and I think he secretly has a crush on me. No, he's never met me. He doesn't know me, but if he did, I think he would like me. He's just got this New York attitude about him that I find very fun. Okay, happy birthday, Lewis Black. Quick little story. I have like 4 or 5 really long celebrity stories that you'll love, but it's like there won't be time for anything else on those mornings. I think I'll do one tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do one tomorrow. But today, a quick one. Used to fly a lot. I used to teach seminars all over the country, and my ex used to come with me and be my assistant when I did these seminars all over, teaching about, I know, crazy, right? The balloon decorating business. I told you that's what I did. I taught florists and balloon artists how to be better with balloons, how to decorate with balloons. Anyway, we used to stop somewhere in Middle America. I can't remember what city it was, but there I go with the backwards again. See, I have hair sticking up here, so I go to this side. Anyway, we used to stop somewhere in Middle America between planes. And it would get boring, right? There wasn't a whole lot to do while we were between planes. So we'd be sitting there. And one day this guy walked by. We weren't paying attention. And I turned to my ex and I said, oh, I think that was Pat Boone. And he said, it wasn't Pat Boone. And I said, no, really, I think it was Pat Boone. I used to do that show with him. And I should go say hi to him. And he said, he wouldn't remember you. And I said, of course he would. We did a show together. He said, it's not him anyway. I said, wow, you're really being contrary. Okay, I'm going to go find out if it's Pat Boone. And I started following this stranger across the airport. Except every time I would try to get around him so I could see his face head on, he would turn the other way. It was like we were choreographed. I would follow him. He would turn the other way. And that kept happening over and over and over. And it was hilarious because I couldn't see his face. And I wasn't going to just say to a stranger, hey, Pat Boone, how's it going, right? So then he goes into a gift shop. And I figure, this is it. This is my chance. So I follow him into the gift shop. And he's walking around the gift shop, picking things up, looking at things, killing time, just like I was. And I walk up behind him, and then I come to the side and I go, Pat, is that you? Thinking if it's not him, he's gonna go, you're another crazy broad in the airport, right? My ex is right behind me watching this whole thing. And the guy turns around and he looks at me and he goes like this, oh my Lord, Sandye! And he throws his arms out and grabs me and hugs me. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, so he's not going to recognize me, huh? He won't know who I am, huh? Because it's been a year or two since I've seen him. It was so cool. I felt so good. So there I am with my white-bucked Pat Boone in the middle of a gift shop in the airport in Podunk somewhere or other with my ex-husband doing this. Well, of course he'd remember me. We had a blast. Anyway, that's my latest Pat Boone story for you. But tomorrow there will be a long celebrity story. Tomorrow is National trail mix day. You might want to go pick up your ingredients today. It's Sunday, so possibly there are some outdoor food markets, some farmers markets where you could go and pick up all the ingredients for an awesome trail mix. I do this trail mix, and if one more person asks me for the recipe, I think I will have a heart attack from laughing so hard. It's like, really, people? I buy like 11 kinds of nuts, put them together with chocolate chips and dried blueberries. It's fabulous, if I do say so myself, but it's like the easiest thing that ever was. Okay, news flash. Yesterday, we talked about the Jetsons. Remember, I was talking about Daws Butler and how he was the voice of all these different characters and Hanna-Barbera characters and all this other stuff, and the Jetsons. And that makes today's news even more exciting. I read on CNN this morning that the Japanese have had the first official 4-minute flight of a flying car. Tomorrow is right around the corner, folks. Tomorrow is right around the corner. So cool. Okay, we've gone long. So a quick one from Happy and Grateful. This is the time for adapting to change. Productivity can wait. We all have things to do, projects to complete, plans to follow. Relax. You just can't do it today. Productivity can wait. It will wait. Now is the time for us to design a future worth stepping into. It's time to open up your spiritual toolbox. This seemed so appropriate for a Sunday. Danger, warning, justice, love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. That's all you get for today, folks. Unicorns and flying cars and Pat Boone in the airport and Lewis Black's birthday and wedding candy. Woohoo! Okay, mix M&Ms into the trail mix. That's what Henry says. Hey, listen, I did the chocolate chips, no M&Ms, but M&Ms would be prettier. You can go for it. I love being with you this morning. Have a glorious Sunday and look forward to tomorrow's very long but really cool celebrity story. Love you all. Slow down. It's Sunday. Bye-bye.